Moses, the final ascent, the tragic last journey of God's greatest prophet. Before Joshua led Israel into the Promised Land, before the walls of Jericho fell, there was an old man climbing a lonely mountain, a man who spoke with God as a friend, a man who parted seas, shattered empires, and carried a nation on his weary shoulders. This is the tragic and majestic final chapter of Moses, the greatest prophet in the Bible, and the heartbreaking moment when he saw the Promised Land but could not enter it. The farewell of a leader. The sun hung low over the plains of Moab, burning gold across the desert sand. The Israelite camp, thousands upon thousands of tents, rustled like a restless sea. Word had spread, Moses had gathered the people. He stood upon a raised rock, staff in hand, his hair like white fire in the wind. The years had carved deep lines into his face, but his eyes, those eyes that had seen God's glory, still burned with conviction.
His voice, though aged, carried across the crowd. "I am 120 years old today, and the Lord has told me, I shall not cross the Jordan." A gasp passed through the people. Fear, sorrow, disbelief. But Moses lifted his hand, steady as always. "Do not be afraid. The Lord will cross ahead of you. Joshua will lead you." He laid his hands on Joshua, a moment glowing with divine weight, and the gathered nation bowed in reverence. Moses writes his final words. Night fell like a velvet curtain. By a small fire, Moses sat alone, writing the final words of the Torah onto parchment. Every stroke of the reed pen was slow, deliberate. He paused often, remembering Egypt, plagues, seas torn apart, manna in the wilderness, rebellions, miracles, and the voice of God speaking from the burning bush. He whispered through tears, "They have been stubborn, but they are your people." As the torch flickered, Moses placed the final scroll into the hands of the Levites.
Place it beside the Ark of the Covenant as a witness for all generations. Though his hand trembled, his spirit remained unbroken. The final blessings. Morning light spilled across the tribal banners. Moses moved through the camp, blessing each tribe one by one. His voice grew softer with each blessing, as if his strength was being poured out into the people he loved. To Judah, strength. To Joseph, fertility and power. To Levi, devotion and zeal. To Benjamin, beloved protection. He spoke like a father saying goodbye to his children. And when he finished, the camp stood silent, overwhelmed, the lonely ascent of Mount Nebo. Then came the moment. Moses turned away from the camp and walked alone, no one following, by God's command. The path up Mount Nebo was steep, jagged and silent, except for the dry wind hissing through the rocks. Each step was slow but purposeful. He leaned on his staff, breath heavy. Halfway up, he stopped to rest, looking down upon the nation he had shepherded for 40 years. "Lord, let me see it with my own eyes." And he kept climbing. God shows him the promised land. At the peak, the sky stretched endlessly. The voice of God filled the mountain. "Moses, my servant." Before him the land unfolded like a divine tapestry. The green hills of Judea, the shimmering river Jordan, the far-off ridges of Galilee, the fertile plains of Canaan glowing in the sun. He saw cities yet to be built, vineyards yet to be planted, generations yet to be born.
God said, "This is the land I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I have let you see it, but you shall not cross over." A tear ran down Moses' weathered face. Not anger, not regret, just the quiet ache of a dream fulfilled only in sight. He whispered, "It is enough." The death of Moses. There, standing with the wind pulling at his robes, Moses felt his strength slip away. No fear touched him, only peace. He lay down on the rocky ground of Nebo, arms folded across his chest. The scripture says simply, beautifully, "And Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there, according to the word of the Lord." Some say the Hebrew suggests he died with the kiss of God, a gentle passing, held by the one he had served. God himself buried Moses in a valley of Moab. No grave, no monument, no marker, so that the people would worship God, not the man. Israel wept for 30 days. And Moses' legacy lived on, not in stone, but in every law, every story, every heart shaped by his courage. The greatest prophet Israel ever knew finished his journey on a lonely mountain with God as his only witness.